Did you know that there could be real big cats roaming around in Britain?
Around 80% conform to a black panther, around the size of a Labrador, give or take, with a stretch body, long tail.
Big cat on the loose in Cornwall. 5 pet cats are dead and a deer are missing amid sightings of a black panther.
This was the image which shocked a military policeman as he managed to capture the scenes on video. A large black cat seen prowling over a railway line close to his naval base.
Big cats have been reported around the UK for many years, from the southwest and southeast all the way up through to Scotland. With recent evidence confirming big cat DNA, we go out to explore these elusive creatures and see if we can find evidence of big cats in the UK.
Good evening everyone, welcome to the Unexplained Files, the best paranormal / cryptid / unexplained activity channel in the United Kingdom on YouTube. We're returning to our case file roots because we've heard that there are, I don't know if it's rumours you'd call it, or perhaps somewhat rumoured reports of big cats potentially sighted in the local area. We've got a little dog man down here, he's zooming by. But there was apparently some sightings of some big cats in the area. Was there footage recorded of it, or...?
There's actual DNA evidence that's not in this area, like that was taken from a dead sheep in Cumbria that was like supposedly from, well, not supposedly, it is from a large cat, and they said most likely a leopard. So there is DNA evidence of it. There's photos of one that was in the newspaper last year taken in this very area where we are. That's why we wanted to come round here and have a look around and that.
So much like our very first case file when we went on the hunt for a dog man, we are now currently on the lookout for potential big cat sightings. So let's see if we can discover anything here on Dartmoor. So that's the thing, like in the UK I never really think of big cats. It's always, all of our legends are always hellhounds and big wolf type creatures. So the thought of there being big cats here is kind of petrifying.
Go down here, I don't know what's down here. We don't know where we're going, we're just
there's no plan for this one, it's just going to be, let's see where we can find it. The picture that was taken, is there, do we know the exact location where the picture was taken?
It was around near this Fernwavy Reservoir, but a little bit further away near where the stone circle is, so, but it's generally in this area.
Yeah.
So, apart from that, there's a vague picture that they put in the paper which appears to be some kind of black animal. If I can get the screenshot of it and put it up there, I will do.
It'd be weird, it'd be strange to imagine it being so close to the reservoir because so many people come through here. I mean, yeah, sure, there's livestock around which would be perfect for a creature trying to hunt something, but yeah, Dartmoor's such an active area, but then I suppose it is just such a wide area that it would be, if you are a big cat, you don't want to be found and you're hunting away, it's perfect. We've got a little fly on the camera.
He's just like,
get out of town.
Yeah, and you've heard rumours for years, like the Exmoor beast, the beast of Bodmin Moor, and I forget what the Dartmoor one's called. But yeah, and then there's all reports of like hellhounds and shucks and stuff like that.
So maybe all of these were just big cats and they were mistaken for something else.
It's very possible. Don't know.
Fisherman.
No. Well, I suppose it's an ideal place for it.
Why not? Why not indeed?
But apparently here in Devon itself is like the largest area for big cat sightings, with almost 700 sightings since like they started doing records.
There seems to be a lot of buzz about big cats recently anyway.
I think that because that actual DNA was found this year. Well, it was in the paper this year anyway. I don't know if it was found this year.
I think on our last big cat video we had someone come forward and say that they had been to do with the finding of the DNA or some of the DNA.
Yeah, I don't know if it was that exact one or from something else, I'm not sure.
It might be cool at some point in the future if they can, well, if we verify that they're speaking the truth, we can get them on the channel, interview them and maybe follow up this story a little bit more, because I am intrigued. Like, we don't get a lot in the local area, so to see big cats so close to where we are is freaking cool. We can actually follow the trail, see if we can find something.
Yeah, and obviously today the chances of us seeing anything are slim anyway, but you know, we're going to have a walk around and a look, you know,
See what we can find.
Might see some prints or anything, you never know.
Yeah,
so.
hopefully a print, and maybe if we notice a big cat in the camera in the distance, once we're home and safe.
Plus we've got this bad boy today, and this has got a crazy zoom on it, so if there is anything off in the distance, then we should be good to get some footage.
Let's get these big cats found. I still find it hard to believe big cats in the UK. I know they found DNA for it. It's just, you wouldn't have thought it. I mean, I suppose in low populations it makes a lot of sense that no one's really encountering them like crazy, but it just gives me, not flashbacks, that's the wrong word, it makes me think of all those videos in India where you've got people like on scooters whipping by and then a tiger just leaps out there and charges them. Is that what it's going to be like in a few decades? Because even I remember being a kid and hearing about things like the Beast of Exmoor or Bodmin, or take your pick which moor or area, you know. They're definitely getting their way around if this is the case, because it's a lot of different areas they're being seen in.
Oh yeah, they're being seen all over the country, like all the way up to Scotland and that, but apparently Devon's like the highest amount of sightings.
Well, there's a lot of open space, I suppose, with like livestock and a good like diverse sort of.
And apparently that one where they had the sighting just up the way we're heading now, when they were walking back to their car, there was a half-eaten deer carcass and all.
Ooh.
So that makes it a bit more credible.
Yeah, that'll do it. I mean, what else would you get out here that would even do something like that?
Well, yeah,
to be able to catch a deer and also to be able to just rip it apart. Can't really imagine anything. We don't have, like, other than the BBC, we don't have predators in the UK.
No.
So to have big cats kicking about, I think that's, what was it I read? For the longest time, the most dangerous creature we had to worry about was badgers. So the thought of there being big cats about, I wonder what that's going to cause. But you'd have thought, with people going out camping and stuff, you know, out in the woods, in the forest and whatnot, there'd be more people, like, there'd be more of it, unless it's trying to be suppressed.
I know they did say you tend to see them more around kind of dawn and dusk, which it's like, think of foxes, for example. There's fucking hundreds of them and you hardly ever see them.
That's true. I think I've only seen one fox, urban fox in my life.
So if there's a tiny population of, like, you know, black panthers or whatever in the area, chances of seeing it are extremely
low.
rare.
Yeah, and they're going to want to avoid people. I mean, I think we do have a tendency to think we know everything that's going on. It's all explored, and so that means it's fine, and we know. But, you know, we've seen clips. You know, when we were on the podcast with G-Star and Monty, shout out to you guys, they showed us the clip of what could have been a bear or something in the distance. So you don't know what's going on. Even if that wasn't a bear, fuck knows what it was.
No,
So,
it looked like a bear, just the way it moved, didn't it?
It really did, yeah. It was a great distance away, so, you know.
And another funny thing, actually, like, because I'd never thought of it before, because I've always had the term, like, black panther, and then you think of obviously the, you know, like the beast of Bodmin Moor kind of thing. But apparently a panther isn't like a separate animal like from other things. It's just a name that's given to the animal that's got the dark pigment to the to the fur. So like leopards and tigers and that can and pumas and that can be, you know, it could be called a panther.
Right. We've
Guess
got
we
a
go
downed
here.
tree here, so maybe not that route.
No.
Long ago, there would have been big. I don't know about big cats, but definitely like bears and stuff like
It
that.
used to be like, yeah, wolves and stuff
Wolves
like that,
and
they've all
bears,
been hunted to extinction. Our ancestors took care of that for
Yeah,
us.
they were like, don't worry, folks, we got you. But apparently, they
Got
may
you
have
back.
missed a few. I wonder if there is big cats around. And obviously, we're making a lot of noise now, which is going to make it hard for us to find them.
There's people following us.
Yeah. But I wonder if they would have been a surviving population from all the way back, or whether they've escaped somewhere or somehow been reintroduced. There's that theory that says if, you know, when people have had exotic pets
Yeah.
and they've either lost them or given up and just set them free, if that could result. But then if it is that, you'd have to set out a couple free rather than just the one, because otherwise you're not getting very long sightings before the sightings are over.
Yeah, because that came around like the mid to late 1970s, I think, wasn't it? Like
Right.
the Wild Dangerous Animals Act or whatever it's called. And yeah, supposedly they just made it a lot like more strict to keep these animals. You had to have a license, someone had to inspect the place to make sure it's suitable for the animal and that it's being looked after properly.
Yeah.
So they say a lot of people just kind of let them out in the wild.
Silliness, really. And there's not a lot of places they would survive, but big, vast open area with a lot of coverage, like different plant life and different like creatures and stuff, livestock especially.
Right.
Perfect area for something like this. Like you see it all the time in the States where you get
What?
is that this one? Oh,
Yeah.
it's this one. I was like, where's that come from? You see it in the States all the time where you get people who their farms are quite rural.
Yeah.
That's the only place where livestock is, and all of a sudden the livestock's getting attacked and there are now creatures in the area. So it's not uncommon for things to roam in areas where livestock's going to be, and if they are.
Right.
And moorlands always make sense because a lot of moorlands people have the right to, what's it, common ground or whatever, where people can have their animals just graze. It's going to be perfect for it, really. We're getting into some hairy territory here.
Right, lucky the old hiking boots are on today. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I personally believe they're about, like, I can't believe everyone's mistaking things. So
Oh, I'm not going to say I do or don't believe it. I think it's cool.
believe it.
I am a person who tends to almost always lean towards believing it to be true.
Yeah. Like obviously you've got to be open-minded
dose of
and stay sceptical about these things, but
Yeah.
there is a fair amount of evidence, especially with the DNA evidence now as well. So even if, for example, there's none in this area, it shows there's some somewhere.
Somewhere in the UK. I mean, it's a vast expanse of land. It's not really that unfathomable that they would be around somewhere,
Yeah.
even in small populations.
And it's funny actually because several animals have escaped from Dartmoor Zoo, where we are now. I believe was there a tiger escaped or something, but it was just in the zoo, and then I believe a wolf escaped and they recaptured that. And I'm sure there was something else. I think they recaptured it in a local town or something. The
Oh,
wolf.
blimey. Imagine it's like a Friday evening, you've just walked out your local and there's just a wolf sat there. I don't know what I'd do.
I remember when I lived in America and we went to Tennessee, like they used to shut the town down like really early at night because the bears would come down from the mountains scavenging the bins and that. It was quite freaky.
And there are a lot of places that will keep their front doors unlocked purely just in case bears attack, so people can bomb it inside houses. That's madness.
It's funny, like how skeptical we can be about big cats in America, but then I still believe in like around here, and then I still believe in things like Dogman and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is further from anything that you'd
Well,
think.
yeah. This is a very reasonable theory, a conspiracy, if you will. I don't really know if there's a conspiracy behind it, who knows? But it would be interesting to find out where they are.
See, this is awesome, isn't it? It's not like often we get to do. Like, obviously, we done Dartmoor. Was that this year? Or was
That was this year. It was a few months ago now.
and that was
about
that was
April
like
time.
late at night in the dark.
It was, yeah, Wistman's Woods we investigated.
Yeah, and now we get to come out in the day and enjoy it a little bit more because hope that we don't get attacked by any wild
Big
animals.
If we could see it, that's fine by me. Like, look at this area. Can you not imagine big cats just cruising? Let me turn this bad boy around. Just cruising through that little clearing over there. Not clearing, I want to go over that way.
That kind of reminds me of Wistman's Woods a bit, innit?
It does, yeah.
Like-
That's why I was a bit cautious about walking through it. Now, I'm not saying I'm superstitious, but I am. That area tells me that something probably lives there or owns it or belongs to.
As long as you don't see any fairy rings.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, don't say that.
If they would be anywhere, I'm betting it's in there.
It's funny doing these videos actually, isn't it? Because it's like, it feels just like a day out having a hike or something.
Pretty much is. This is just a big cat vlog.
Right.
Yeah, we're at the back of the reservoir now, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, if we do get to see something, that'll be epic. But if
From a
not,
distance.
it's been a nice day out.
Yeah. And if we do see something, it was a nice time being alive.
Yeah.
No, I think any big cat would just most likely, at a time like now, would just be shy and would want to keep
yeah.
away.
Well, it said unlike the ones in the zoo, the wild ones out in nature tend to shy away from people.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
unless you're encroaching upon something that they feel threatened by, imagine they just run away.
Yeah.
You'd hope. It would be our luck that in most of our investigations we capture absolutely nothing. But this time we get not only capture a big cat, but get caught by a big cat.
Get killed by it.
Yeah.
And no one will ever see this video. So you
Ah.
know if you do, we haven't.
If you see the video, we probably haven't seen anything, unless this video has millions of views, in which we probably did see something. So this, funny enough, this is actually how our case file started, a video much like this, wasn't it? When we went to Linton and Lynmouth for the Dogman sighting, to sort of scope the area. And
That's
see
a
what
bit
was
more
going on.
exciting still, thought of a werewolf or a dog man being in the area.
Yeah. Although I feel slightly more threatened by the idea of a big cat, because I can imagine that's actually there. There's another car park up here by the looks of it.
Get here, it's the same one.
I'll be like, ah, shit. I love the giant forest. The giant forest, I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it?
These trees are huge.
Look at that view behind us, guys. Them trees are pretty massive.
It's got to be at least like, what, 4 stories tall?
Aye. And they're not even like redwoods, are they? I wouldn't.
No. Anything that looks vaguely reminiscent of a pine tree is just a pine tree to me.
Aye. I'd love to go, because there are redwoods growing in the UK, but because they're not as old as the American ones, that they're not as big.
Huge. Give it another 500 years,
Right.
they'll be competing probably.
Yeah, because I think some of them are like over 1,000 years old now, aren't they?
Blimey.
Mad.
This is the shack that everyone runs to in the murder mystery film when they're getting hunted down by the insert random cryptid here.
Right.
And you go up to the
that's
barn
where-
and finally lock the door and it's dark, and in the background you just hear and you're like, uh-oh.
Just hear growling or something like that. Oh, shit. It proper does look like a one you'd find in a horror movie, doesn't it?
It really does.
Oh man, that breeze feels good. So what are your guys' thoughts on big cats in the UK? Do you believe
Do you think
they
they're
are?
there, or are you wrong?
Or are we wrong for thinking you're wrong?
Yeah. Or if you are a person who has extensively searched for big cats and you are believing that they either are or aren't, let us know in the comments below, because I'd love to sit and, one, interview the person who said that they were to do with finding the evidence, and two, I'd love to find another person who's very much a skeptic and talk to them about it. Maybe even have a debate on a video where the two can try and convince one another.
Oh, that wind is howling through here. It's proper cool though. I love these trees.
Here's my height compared to it. Compared to it,
Let's see if I can.
I think your camera's just locked on me, I think. Oh, he's trying.
Don't know how I got out there because I can't see.
Not
the
saying
screen.
I'm exponentially tall or anything, but these trees are.
They've got some age.
Just
to them,
imagine
haven't
a big cat roaming about it. Imagine if just a velociraptor jumped out.
they? So what do you think, guys? Do velociraptors live in the UK?
Have you found DNA evidence? Maybe some amber with a mosquito in it? Oh, I wish dinosaurs were still about, but sadly no.
We probably wouldn't if they were here.
Yeah, right now I
We'd
wouldn't
be
want-
dead,
Yeah,
more than likely.
unless they're like the little tiny guys. Although there was in the films, there were little tiny raptors that a group of them that tore up that guy, wasn't there?
Yeah. Then that dodgy little thing with a neck fan down, it spat that venom, poisonous stuff.
Never have I loved a creature so much that was made so terrifying in this film. Getting shanked up by the dinosaur, that would be a terrifying way to go.
I wonder what you'd do if you saw a large black cat, like, because obviously, like, that could do you some serious damage,
Yes.
and the chances of them attacking you are probably very slim. But you'd still shit yourself, wouldn't you, if you saw one?
Absolutely. I think I would probably stare at it and be like, and be very quiet, and I would try and walk backwards, continually facing it, so it doesn't try and charge up on us. And then
That's
just
what you're supposed to do, isn't it?
get out of there.
Keep
That's
eye contact and just back off.
There we go. My instincts, my caveman instincts, have not failed me.
Until we see one, then you run off screaming. I'd be interested to find the exact point on this trail where they were,
Yeah.
because it doesn't say exactly where, but it says approximately.
Well, they would have obviously walked this way,
Yeah.
and the cool thing about that is, like, seeing all these trees, this is exactly where I would imagine it would have been seen. And obviously, big cats will have a massive area that they will.
Go on this side
Sit
a bit
with
and give me the arm and I can rest.
Yeah, they will have a huge area that they will sort of stay within.
So I wonder if they're like other animals, like, because some of them will roam like hundreds and hundreds of miles, wouldn't they? And others will just stick to a certain kind of location for the most part.
I don't know. I'm not a big cat expert, unfortunately.
Me neither. So we are approaching at the stone circle now, guys, which is just through this clearing off to our right a little bit, which is apparently like 4,000 years old in the Bronze Age. And I believe they said it was probably used for, like, you know, like festivals and possibly like funerals, because underneath where the stone circle is they found like a load of charcoal, so there's obviously a lot of fires burnt on there.
And people are still raving on Dartmoor, so it's still going. If there was a forest here like this with a big clearing, how grand would this have been to a person back then?
Yeah.
It's all lumpy and bumpy, so what's buried below here?
It's a bit wet in the middle there. Oh, there's some geese just chilling.
Don't blame them.
Just having a meditation or something. So I think it was saying, let me turn this around. I think it was saying that all these stone circles are in their original place, barring 2 of them. And I don't know whether that's any of these back here, or because there's some in the long grass over there as well.
I like that they're trying to grow a forest in this bit as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
when this forest is done, there'll be none of this big open view. It'll just be all the forest here, and then you walk down this central part, showing you.
I've seen a picture taken, I think, either the late 1800s or early 1900s, and none of these trees were here. It was all just open moorland, so anything you can see here now wasn't here before. It was all open. These were planted, I think, in the early 1900s.
So it just makes you think what could have been here when these people were worshipping or doing whatever they did here.
I don't know why they planted all these trees, but what the reasoning was. Well guys, unfortunately no big cat sightings as of yet, but we've got to walk back now. But we did have a pleasant time at the stone circle.
It was incredible. So,
Alright guys, so that wraps up
our big cat
searching for a big cat on Dartmoor.
Yeah, I think for the sake of you guys watching this, we'll probably cut this video up so that all of our rambling over at the stone circle, we can maybe put that into like a separate little side rant video or something. But yeah, we did take a look for the big cat. We have traced the exact route that big cat was seen on there. The people who saw the cat, well, saw whatever it was parked in the same place we parked. We've walked the exact same route all the way up to the stone circle, and we've not found anything or seen any evidence. Not that we expected to. Would have been a bit of a miracle if we had.
We've still got a little walk back here, so
yeah, a good half an hour walk back.
If anything does crop up, we will.
Yeah, and we'll be able to put it in to the video. But
although we probably already would have, and they'd have already seen it.
Yeah, you would have seen it at the start. So this was either a very long video with fuck all, or at least you're hopefully entertained. But regardless, absolutely fantastic place to have found. But I advise all of you, get out there, see what's about in your local area, see the historic stuff, and learn about its creatures and cryptids, and you might bump into something yourself. We always think that we know it all,
and even just to get out in nature is good for your mental health. So
absolutely, yes. Don't sit binge watching us all day. Get out there and make yourself feel better. But thank you for watching this evening's video. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope to catch you again in another one. Before I forget, iCards up in the top corner there. We've got paranormal investigations you can check out. We have our very first case file, which was very similar to this, where we went to another place called Linton and Lynmouth, where we searched for a dog man. There was apparently a sighting of a weird canine/man creature that we hunted for there. We have a reactions playlist, which is another one that's great for something like this, because if you have any evidence of cryptids or creatures, that is the sort of place you would see us react to it. We also have a podcast where we talk about anything and everything to do with the unexplained, paranormal, or whatever catches our interest, and I think it's just about everything.
I believe so.
Well, we hope to catch you again in the next one. Goodbye.
Cheers, guys.